Welcome OnSetPass. In this video, I'm going to be diving into probably the feature of OnSetPass that we're most excited about, and that is the funding of your films. And in this video, I'm going to do my best to explain how that process is going to work. I guess just to start, filmmaking is an expensive aspect or an expensive art form, right? We've touched on it before, but even just the gear itself is expensive to buy: the cameras, the lenses, the lighting, but beyond that, the location, all aspects of filmmaking. There really isn't a cheap way to go about it. It sucks that sometimes money is the only thing holding us back from creating the ideas in our head as filmmakers that we've always wanted to make. And that's why with OnSetPass, we want to fix this problem once and for all. So every quarter, we're going to be spending the time in between these quarters reviewing submitted scripts, pitches, and ideas. And like I said, if you scroll down, all the info to submit your script and idea are outlined. But in this video, I want to touch on kind of just an overarching process of what that looks like. So I'm going to break this down into 3 steps. You have submit, pitch, and shoot. The submit portion is very simple. You're a filmmaker, you have an idea. We're looking for 2 documents. We're looking for a 1-pager, and we'll have some examples down below of what a 1-pager is. But a 1-pager is just to kind of get a distilled version of your short film. Could be a couple paragraphs of the kind of idea, maybe the tone, some references. We'd love to sort of see some screen grabs of films that you think your short film will kind of have a similar look to. And then we also want to see your script. And we have a whole team over at OnSetPass whose full-time job is to review these 1-pagers and scripts. And once we've kind of found one that we feel is a really great idea and we want to see that idea come to life, that moves you as a filmmaker on to step number 2, which is the pitch. We want to hear from you. We want to basically have a Zoom call with you. We want to just sort of like understand a little bit more where you're coming from as a filmmaker, what the idea is, some of the ideas that you have. And yeah, after kind of hearing from you and hearing kind of maybe what resources you have access to and what you would do with that funding, then you move into the shooting aspect. We would award the funding to you as a filmmaker. We would also be sending someone from our team to document the entire film process. So that's not an expense, obviously, you'd have to cover, but we're going to send out a BTS crew. And during the 1 day or several days, however many days your short film is, we're going to also kind of be a fly on the wall documenting that filmmaking process. And after you shoot, we ask that the film gets complete within 90 days. So you have 3 months to shoot and edit and have a finished version of a film. I only bring up that 90 days because obviously we need to turn these things over to have them live on the platform. And if you're a filmmaker who, sometimes I'm even guilty of it, takes months and, sometimes years to really kind of fine tune something, maybe this process is a bit accelerated. But if you think you can operate and create within those confines of, receiving funding and making a final polished film within 90 days, then I think you'd be a great candidate. And that's pretty much it. We're going to be doing this every quarter. So not only are we going to be having all this original content and behind the scenes from different filmmakers in the OnSetPass community live on our platform, but I think it's going to be so cool because as an active OnSetPass member, if you have an idea and you want to receive funding to make that idea, now money is no longer the barrier to create. We want to basically remove that barrier and give the funding to filmmakers with great ideas to make the film that they've always wanted to make. So yeah, I guess just to close this out, as I touched on in the beginning, the funding your film component of OnSetPass is something that, myself and our co-founders have wanted to do for a really long time. Because ultimately, at the end of the day, filmmaking, as I've touched on, is a very expensive art form, not only from the gear, but just the locations, the actors, all aspects of filmmaking cost money. And it kind of sucks sometimes if you have an amazing idea that the money is the one thing holding you back from creating the film you've always wanted to make. So we wanted to remove that barrier for you guys to create. Definitely take advantage of this platform. We look forward to not only reading, but seeing your upcoming short films.